Hello, Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. I want to come to you today with a question that was asked of me. How do I survive a divorce after 20 years of marriage? So that's my topic that I want to talk about tonight because I understand where you're coming from in asking this question. I myself was married 20 years. So whether it's 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years, and yes, I have worked with people who have been married much longer than 20 years and still find themselves going through divorce. So, what are my words of wisdom for you? First of all, I don't want you to go through this alone. That's why I hold support groups. Because back 22 years ago now, almost 23, when I went through my divorce, there were not the support groups that we have today. So I hold my groups virtually and in person in the Grand Rapids area, Grand Rapids, Michigan area. But the virtual ones you would have access to. So we come together 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we spend about an hour, hour and a half together processing through divorce because it is a trauma. And I want you to have the privacy and the ability to be anonymous if you so choose. But here's the truth of it. I don't want you to go through it alone because it's too difficult. If we go through it alone, if we think, oh, I just need to manage this all on my own, then the only voices we're really hearing are those in our head. And those voices are not always the healthiest for us to listen to. So, number one, whether you've been married 20 years, 30 years, or 5 years, don't go through this trauma alone. You need support. You need someone with you, someone who's going to speak into your life, who's going to give you guidance and to give you hope. So, number one, don't go through it alone. Number two, get your network of experts. This is what I talk about in my books. Who are those people who can guide you in areas you have never been before? Chances are you're not a financial expert. Chances are you're not a legal expert. Chances are you're not an emotional expert or a spiritual one. So you get your network of experts to guide you, to work with you through this. Some of them will be paid, some may not be paid. Maybe you have a very intelligent friend who is emotionally intelligent and able to walk through this with you. Maybe it's a pastor or a counselor. But you are going to need someone's advice in the legal matters and in the financial matters, because there are lots of landmines that you might step in if you make some decisions without some good advice. So if you're going through a divorce, married 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, you need that network of experts who are going to guide you through that particular area of their expertise. Again, we're not going to go through it alone. I realize how difficult it is for many of you who are very independent, who've always had life in control, for you to admit, I need some help. Friends, let me tell you, right now is time you need some help. It's too heavy to do it on your own. So get those network of experts. Allow people who want to help you to help you. This is not the time to be the brave soldier or pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's the time to connect with those people who can support you through this, allowing you to talk, which is what we do in group. We talk without wearing out our friends and family, because people in group, they get it. They understand what you're speaking. So get your network of experts and do not be alone. Thirdly, I want you to believe and have hope that there is still a beautiful life for you. It's a big world, and I understand the pain that you are going through right now. And I understand how easy it is just to pull your covers up over your head and stay in bed. And granted, there are days that you should do that, but you can't stay there. Beyond this very difficult and traumatic transition of divorce is a life that is beautiful a life that is waiting for you, that may be totally different than what you even imagined it could be. For myself, that's how it was. I never imagined that God would allow me to do and experience the things that I have experienced in the past 22 years. God has a plan. And if you're married 20 years, as I was, you may think, this is the end. I'm done being happy. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. I have worked with hundreds of people and I have seen them rebuild their life. Having worked with me, many of them, on Building Your Future After Divorce, one of my course books, you're not done. We're going to get you in a place to where you can start dreaming again, remembering who you are, and then designing who you want to be and where you want to go and who you want to become. Once you get past the pain of it, it is a beautiful process that I would love to guide you through. So believe and know that there is hope. God says, I have a plan for you. I have a plan. I want you to know that God is not divorcing you. And I hope that that brings comfort to your heart, because I know how lonely and abandoned you can feel when you're going through a divorce, even if you were the one to leave. But I want you to know that God is not divorcing you. He still values you highly. He still loves you so much that he sent his son, Jesus, to die on a cross for all of your mistakes and all of your sins, and to make you righteous in his eyes so that he could dwell within you and guide you and love you and give you that beautiful life. So God is not divorcing you. There is hope. Step out in faith and believe. And next, Jesus said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So those lonely times when you feel distraught, disoriented, remember those two things. God is not divorcing you, and Jesus will never leave you nor forsake you, and sends his comforter to guide you and to give you peace. It's possible. I know how difficult it is. Let me recap, though. If you're married 20 years or however long your marriage was, number one, do not go through it alone. Number two, get your network of experts. Find those people who have the expertise that you need in making your divorce decisions and moving forward from divorce. Believe and know that you have hope, that there's a beautiful life waiting for you on the other side of this transition. That's why it's so important that you get the support that you need, so that you don't waste any more time, any more years, that you develop a structured plan and a vision and a new life declaration, which is what I help you do, to state your purpose, your vision for your future, and then we begin making it work. It's a fabulous and beautiful transition. Once you get past the pain, you may not feel it now, but it's coming. So be encouraged. Don't give up. I know how difficult. You say, how am I going to survive 20 years? This is all I've ever known. Well, you are full of potential, and there are many things yet for you to know. So trust, believe, have a plan, and let's get this healing started. Kathy Beatty, Divorce Support Anonymous.